Okay, today I will be demonstrating how to cook a lobster. This guy right here weighs in at 1.8 pounds, almost 2 pounds. Note the color because that will change after he's boiled it. He'll turn bright red. One indicator that he's cooked. Another indicator you'll notice when the antenna pull out easily. That's another little trick I use when cooking a lobster in the Maine tradition. So one thing I have done is I've put water in the pot and it's already at a boil. I did add salt to the water, just Morton, a little bit of Morton, a few tablespoons is fine. You just want to get a rolling boil as such. Let me turn the fan on. One thing that I do when I'm putting the lobster in the pot is I'll turn him away. Another thing I've done is I've taken the rubber bands off. Not everybody does that, but I just don't like having the rubber in the pot when it's boiling because of the chemicals in the rubber plastic. So if you take him like this, I grab the tail section and I'm going to put him in head first. It's the most humane way that I know. So I just put him in real quick and I put the tail end away from me in case he does flap. Sometimes that tail will splash water and you don't want that hot water coming back at you. So once he's in the pot, you can use whatever tools you have available to just push him down. Get that tail under the water. And you want to set your timer too. I'm going to set this for 9 minutes. And go from there. So the time is now set to 9 minutes. And I'm just going to work, I'm going to monitor it. The water should come back to a boil here shortly. And I'm just going to try to keep all that meat under water so it boils better. Once the lobster is out of the pot, it will continue to cook unless you put it on chilled ice. So that a lot of people think lobster is tough, but I think in general people tend to overcook it. I'll show a chart at the end of this with a guideline of what I use when I'm cooking based on the weight of the lobster. So we have the timer ticking down. Nothing real exciting going on here, so I will shut it off and I will post. I will shut the camera off. Okay, while the lobster is cooking, I'm going to take a short break and I'll be right back when the timer goes off. One other thing I like to do while the lobster continues to boil is to start the butter warming. I use real butter, not margarine, and I may end up using the whole stick, but I'm going to start with half a stick of butter and I'm just going to toss that right into the microwave. So while the lobster is boiling away, I can have the butter ready, and that should still be pretty warm. You don't need a lot of time on it. I'm just going to put it there for 28 seconds. It may need a little longer, but butter works really well as a sauce to put on the lobster. I like to dip the lobster meat into it. One thing you can notice now is I'm getting more bubbles along the surface. You might want to keep an eye on that. If they get too high, just take a little bit of that butter and dip it in the water, and I find that tends to calm the boil down a little bit, or lard or anything like that. So it's starting You can see it's starting to float a little bit. That's another indicator to me that it's on its almost done. It's still got another few minutes probably, but it's definitely starting to float. And it's got that red shell that we were looking for as well. So I'm going to cook them a couple more minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, it's been just under 9 minutes. My lobster now is really floating quickly to the surface when I push it down. He floats up. He's got the color I like to see, that bright red, and he looks like he's ready to come out of there. There's my timer. I'm going to just tug on the antenna right here. This will usually come off really easily when he's done. So it did come off with just a little bit of a tug. So I'm going to call that good. I'm going to shut the stove off. And I'm going to grab him wherever, usually right around the body works well for grabbing. I am doing this with my left hand and I'm right-handed, but just grab him like that and put him on your plate. Let him cool for a little bit. You can see it better in that light. One thing I do to encourage the cooling process, which not everybody does, but I like to just run splash a little bit of cool water. And you got to be careful too when you go to break them open with your nut crackers or lobster crackers, that you don't get any hot water on you, because there's likely still hot water in the shell, in all these crevices and joints. There could be hot water, so just be careful as you eat the lobster, and watch for jagged, sharp points along the claw that can sometimes get you too. So there you have it. There's your lobster all cooked and ready to enjoy. Again, just be cautious when you do crack it open that there's likely still hot water in the shell. Enjoy, and thank you for watching my video.